So hello everybody and welcome to the, what month is it? August session for ACPRESS, and today we're benefiting from the knowledge of Addison Jack, who is joining us from South Korea. So you just have to excuse my audio. I'm currently sitting in Brisbane Airport waiting to get on a plane to Melbourne. So I'm going to mute myself and hand it over to who's going to introduce herself and talk us through the topic of live streaming strategies and tactics for PR. Legend. Over to you,
Okay, so can you guys see my screen? I just did a screen share. You can, okay. I wonder if I can do this, hold on. This way, I couldn't see you.
Looks good.
Should I do the full screen? If I do the full screen, I couldn't see you. So if you like raise your hand, or do you want me to do this or the full screen?
Doesn't worry me, whichever is easier for you.
Okay, I'll just do this. So give me a shout out if you have a question, because I couldn't see any of the boxes. And so, hey everyone, my name is and thank you so much to Kate for inviting me as a speaker. Only took us half a year to make this happen. So I'm truly honored, and I am a social media professor. I teach PR and social media, like communication classes at my school, which is in New Jersey. I got my degree from Syracuse and my PhD from University of Maryland. And I have been teaching like social media for about 3 years. And so my social media journey also started 3 years ago. So today I want to share with you guys about live streaming and some examples, strategies, and tactics that you can apply to your own classroom, and also understand and see examples of how big corporations are using social media, are using live streaming to boost their business, to engage their audience and community, and to have more sales. Okay, so first I want to give you a quick overview of my presentation. I'm going to cover 4 parts. The first is an overall status of video and live streaming. And the second part is how big brands and individuals are using live streaming in PR and social media marketing. And the third part is I will share with you some assignment ideas, specifically 5 examples that you can apply live streaming to your own classes to engage with your students. So basically using live streaming as a pedagogical tool. And the last is live streaming tools and equipment. I will share with you some third-party tools that you can use to do live streaming. So each of them can be a standalone topic. So I try to cover a little bit of everything within a short period of time. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me and stop me. I love interactive discussions a lot more than just hearing myself talk. So first, I want to give you an overview of the status of video and live streaming in the digital space. According to Cisco's annual Visual Index report, in 3 years, video is going to represent 82% of the internet traffic. That is pretty crazy. And according to Social Media Marketing Industry Report, this is developed by Social Media Examiner, which is another really credible organization in social media in the United States. So they predicted video is going to be the future of marketing, communication, PR, integrated marketing. So video is going to be playing a bigger and bigger role, and the marketers, they are spending more money, energy, and the time on video to produce more video content, to build communities, to engage with their audience, basically spending a lot more time and energy on video production. So now I'm going to show you a few numbers. So 87% of online marketers use video content. That is a lot more than half. And so the second number is, if a user has a more positive experience with a video ad, this person is more likely to purchase the product or service by almost 100%. And the video generates 1,200% more shares than both images and text. To me, that is so incredible because I spend so much time on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I can tell you this number is correct because every time when I share a video related piece of content, the engagement is a lot higher. And the last number I want to share is users and are more likely to spend more time, 88% more time on a website if the website has a video. So those are some really, really amazing numbers. And I hope those numbers show you the popularity of video and live streaming in the internet space. And now let's take a look at some of the popular mainstream platforms. So this one is about Instagram. So you see two colors. The purple color shows like videos posted in May 2017. And this light blue and shows videos posted in May 2016. So there is 1 year apart. And you can see, generally speaking, all those major publications have increased their video productions. Like for some publications like Sports Illustrated, the difference is huge. Like this one, Time magazine, the difference is also substantial. And People magazine, and so you can see this was last year, and this year video has become even more popular. And Facebook marketing, according to Buzz Summel, video is definitely a key player. And you can see from those numbers here, the reach of videos is like 12% versus status update, which is like less than 5%. So if you are a social media marketer or PR person or an educator, if you are sending a piece of information and you hope your audience can actually see that information, and so if you only do a status update, and you can only reach out to 5% of your audience, very, very small. So I hope those kind of numbers and quick examples show you the power and the emerging popularity of video and live streaming. And now I'm going to show you some quick examples of how two big brands, they are leveraging live streaming. So the first example is GE. Have you ever heard of this, their Facebook Live campaign? No, probably. Can you guys still hear me? Good?
Yep.
Okay. So they hosted a 3-hour and 360-degree live stream, and it is called the Creators Circle, and I'm going to show you what it is in a second. So basically what they did is they have someone from GE, and this lady, they interviewed 3 social media influencers to highlight their expertise and to talk about social media. And of course, during the 3-hour live streaming, they were talking about how awesome GE is and talking about their brand and their LED lights and how great those things are. And this campaign is a very, very low budget, very low cost, but the result is simply amazing. They reach out 1 million people and they gained 921K views and almost 3K engagement. That is pretty incredible given how little money they spent on this. So I'm going to show you the video. I hope this works. Sorry about my Facebook. Have you ever looked at a 360-degree live video before?
Yeah.
So what this is, actually you can see I will just mute her for a second, but you can see my mouse here. So I can actually move. And so this is one of the person that she interviewed. They interviewed, and if you just keep moving your mouse, and then there's like another person doing makeup. And so here is the production team. It is so incredible. Well, I don't know what I clicked. But their video is like 3 hours, but the engagement was still pretty awesome. So and definitely check this out. And then she just it's so interesting, a much more immersive, immersive experience. As you see, they're talking, and you can still see what is going on. What is this person doing, and what is this person doing? And the engagement was like crazy. You can see here, 208 shares, 921K views, and yeah. Did I hear a question?
Yeah, so I was just going to ask, it's Kate here. So they just broadcast live and just rotate. You could just rotate around that room for that 3 hours, and that's what they did.
Exactly. So this is a much more immersive experience, and the best part is that's why I love Facebook Live or just live streaming in general so much, because not only is this immersive, but it is also content co-creation. And what I mean by that, so mostly like right now I'm just talking, but when you are going live, you can actually see people's comments here right now. So frequently, and when you see people have a question, and you can actually answer the question on the spot. So in a way, the live audience and the host and the guest, they are co-creating content together. So like that's why people love it, because they feel their voice is heard. That's why fans love watching live streaming from their like celebrities or like influencers. They feel like their voice matters and is being heard. So this is one example, very successful example for 3-hour live streaming, and wow, that's just pretty incredible. So this is one example.
So sorry, it's Leanne here. Can I just ask, what did they talk about? So they interviewed social media influencers about their artistic
yeah, they interviewed 3 people who are social media influencers and who are also artists. So they kind of discuss their like expertise in like their each specific artistic expression, and ask them how they use social media to do what they do. So that's what they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And interwoven into all of that was the discussion about the light bulbs.
And because they talk about how important the lighting is, because like, for example, maybe I can show you real quick without losing the connection. So I have sorry, do you see that green light? Yes. So that's very important. When you go live, like lighting is so important. And because I'm in Korea, so frequently I do talks at really weird, like different hours, sometimes evening, sometimes 3 or 2 a.m. So lighting is so important, and that's my investment. Yeah. So that's what they were talking about. LED, like good lighting is really, so in a way they are still promoting themselves, but you don't feel like they are promoting so harshly, and you are still enjoying the story and benefiting from the content. At the same time, you are also being sold to, but you don't feel like you are being sold to. So that is the new age of doing PR and marketing.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And another, how can I go back to full screen? Okay, here. So this is the second example, is Dunkin' Donut, because my children, they love donuts and I love donuts. So it's like, yes, let's use donuts as an example. So what they did, this is actually a campaign they did 2 years ago. So what they did is that they hosted a live video, and in the live video, they give people a tour of their shop. They also showed how they decorated, how they made this like pretty and massive big donut cake. And they also highlighted some tweets from their fans. They also did a contest. They really engaged with their audience. So for this particular live video, they gained almost 50K views. and 500 shares. And again, this is a low cost production, very low cost. And I'm going to show you the video now. So this is their first, which was 2 years ago. And so those people, 2 people basically kind of give you a tour, decorated the cake, and introduce some of their staffs. But I love what they did. I would just,
So we're not hearing any sound,
oh, you're not? Oh, sorry, maybe you couldn't hear the sound from my computer. I don't know. So
okay.
sorry.
So good.
So basically, like so what she's doing right now is that she's showing, like highlighting some tweets from their super fans, basically how much they love donuts. And later in the video, and then they also did a tour. And you can also see here, they were decorating this cake. So the fans, the audience, the live audience, they really loved it. And it is such a great experience. So there are millions of examples like this of how brands and they are leveraging social media to create a community and to do PR for themselves, to do advertising for themselves at a much lower cost compared to traditional marketing. And the best part is, because for this live video, and if you want, you can reshare, you can have clips of the video and post the video on on Twitter, on Instagram. There are so many ways that you can do to repurpose the content of this live video. And if you are not familiar with repurposing, just please feel free to ask me. Yeah, so this is another example. So I just showed you 2 brands, like a big name, GE and Dunkin' Donuts, but please don't be mistaken by thinking that only big corporations can leverage live streaming and digital video. That is not the case at all. So now I'm going to show you 3 individuals and how they leverage live streaming to build their brand, to start their business, to develop their community. And one of the 3 people is me. I hope you don't mind. So the first one is the people I show here is really day-to-day people, average people like you and me. So it's my friend Ali, and she is also a communication professor, but outside the classroom she has her own consulting and communication practice. So what she does is to train people to become better communicators. And what she does is that she goes live every Tuesday at a certain time, so that her audience knows that Ali will go live every Tuesday at 10 a.m., for example. And this video is not even that long. She was sharing some tips related to public speaking and use live video. So she was talking about this every week, that she shares a tip. So this is how she is using live streaming to build her personal brand. And she's doing she has people approach her doing consulting and speaking gigs because of the content that she put out on Facebook. And she also repurposed, meaning that she reshares this video on Instagram and on Twitter, so more people can see it. Oops. And another example also from my friend, and she is the founder of this company, which is solely based on Facebook. So this is her business, which happens only which is just founded on Facebook, and this entire business is built on Facebook by using the Facebook platform. So that's the name of her business, Bilingual Brown Babies. And she also used to be a professor And I think she teaches, she used to teach language. She's really passionate about language, and she has bilingual children. So she's teaching other parents how to raise children who speak more than one language. And in this video that you are going to see is a really brief Facebook Live, only 5 minutes. And that's her children. And she's teaching people how to pronounce certain Spanish words. Okay, so this person, and listen to this. This Facebook business for her and her live streaming has become so popular, and people reach out to her to be consulted by her, to take courses from her, that she eventually quit her college professor position and started this business. And this started with her live streaming journey. I think to me, it really shows the power of live streaming. Not only GE or Dunkin' Donuts, those big brands can benefit from live streaming, Facebook video. People like you and me, we can all benefit from this incredible feature. So this is this story. And here's my story. So my Facebook Live show is called Classroom Without Walls. And it is a weekly show and happens on every Wednesday. I started my show last summer, and I have been running my show for a year. And within this year, I have people from 15 different countries join me and watch my show. I never ever experienced this as a traditional college professor, because most of my students, they come from New Jersey, which is one state in the US. And so I was also able to interview several high-profile people in social media marketing, such as Mark Schaefer and Brent Fenzel, and several of my videos gained 1.4K views and hundreds of comments and dozens of shares. And because of this, I don't know. And because of this, I was really able to establish myself as a leader and really boost my visibility. Like really, because video and live streaming play a huge role in where I am today. So the bottom line I want to share with you, and regardless of you are a person, an individual doing video or live streaming, or you are a corporation or business doing a live video, I think the trend is today we are in this H2H, which is human to human business. It's not just B2C or B2B, H2H, human to human. And live video and live streaming and video in general are very effective ways to humanize. This is a key term here, to humanize who they are as brands and who we are as people, and also to cultivate meaningful connections and relationships, and allow us to really listen to our audience, to be good listeners, and to create immersive experience. Like the GE example we saw earlier, right? You can really look at different angle in the room, and you can ask questions. You can determine and influence how the conversation is going, and much more immersive. And if you add like virtual reality, augmented reality, it is even more immersive than live video. So this is really the trend. Any questions so far?
No, it's great.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I'd like to hear more about your Classroom Without Walls, what you actually do in that space. How long do you do it for? What do you talk about?
Excellent question. Okay. So we can go back. I try to not talk too much about myself, but thank you for asking that question. So my Classroom Without Walls, we can go to my page. Very interestingly, and that's why I think we need to encourage our students to take action, and action creates clarity. When I started my Facebook Live show last summer, I started in June last year. I was hoping to inspire traditional educators to learn how they can leverage social media and technology to transform their own classroom teaching. So I kind of went with that theme for a few months, and quickly I discovered traditional educators are not going to watch Facebook Live. They are not in this space at all. I had so few educators who actually joined my show, 0. And most people who join my show are like social media marketers or people who are professionals but teach, like do part-time teaching. So then that really shifted the content of my Facebook show. So started with kind of education technology, and now I talk about social media marketing and entrepreneurship and education. Sorry, I got so many notifications. And let me just click on video. And this is my public page. So on Facebook, you can have your personal page and a public page. I try to use my public page because it is like a website. And I upload all of my videos here on my public page. So this is my featured video, which I explain why I created Classroom Without Walls and what people expect from my page when they come here, what I talk about. So that's kind of why video, because I love the thing that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do what you do. So always do that why video. And here I have different playlists. So this playlist, I share some tips, just some like really simple tips. But here is where you see this entire folder. This is almost like a YouTube playlist. I think in the near future, and Facebook is going to compete. Maybe they are already competing with YouTube, and they have those playlists, and maybe you can even do YouTube search, like Facebook video search on Google. So you can see like different, like for example, this one, I talk about online course creation. You can look at different videos that I do here. This one is about Twitter. And this one, I actually interview, he's actually an educator and also an entrepreneur. So he shared how he used technology in the classroom and how he started his own business. And this, what's unique about this video, I will show you. And I will also show you later in my talk. And because normally, I hope I can try to find it. He's my guest. And let me see if I can. Because I use BeLive, which I will discuss later. It is a third-party tool that allows you to join Facebook Live. And I can invite my guest and me and 2 additional people. So it feels like a virtual panel. I will try to do. See, that's him. And besides the 2 of us, I can invite 2 additional people. So frequently, I invite people from my live audience to join me on the chat. And I'm going to use this feature in my classroom. Like when I go live, I'm going to invite students from the live audience to join my Facebook Live to really have a content co-creation experience. So that's kind of like my, yes, so here you see, right? So this person is actually from South Africa and she wanted to join. So I invited her to join. She's in the live audience, and this is my guest. I'm the host. So the 3 of us are having a really amazing conversation. That is the power of technology, and that's why I called my show Classroom Without Walls. It's really breaking down the physical like barriers and the geographic limitations.
Thank you.
Sure, yeah, so that is, I will also show you later, like some of the how-tos, how to start, how to do Facebook Live. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about some of the benefits of video and live streaming. This humanizing factor is so important, and also to cultivate meaningful connections. And now the third part of my talk is, how am I doing with time? How much time do I have left?
So I am just watching my time because otherwise I might miss my plane. But I have to close up at about 1:20, so our time. So you've got another 20 minutes. So maybe another 10 minutes for talk and then a few questions.
Yes, awesome. So here I just want to show you some quick examples of how I use live streaming as a pedagogical tool. I really want to share with you social media, using social media in the classroom literally transformed my teaching career and literally paved a path of professional development for myself. So before I dive into specific assignment ideas, I really want to share this graph with you because I just love this so much. I think this graphic really illustrates a paradigm shift in education. If you look at the left side of the screen, this is how we used to teach, right? Like teachers, they are in the center, passive learning, and the learning is fixed to the classroom, and we do courses, and students like take exams. But today's students, they are actually digital learners. They are here. They are on the right side of the screen. They prefer digital first, informal type of learning, self-directed learning, and self-paced learning. So they want to learn in a way that is convenient to them, wherever they want and whenever they feel like learning. Some of our students, they prefer to learn in the morning. Some prefer to learn in the evening. That's why social media, digital learning makes sense today. And social media, live streaming makes this transition from here to here possible. So I want to share 5 assignment ideas with you. And I'm not going to go into super details into any of those assignments because I do want to chat with you, have some time for Q&A. So the first one is, all of our classes, we have guest speakers, right? So traditionally, I invite a person to maybe Skype or come to my class in person. But if you use live streaming, you put like guest speaking to a new level. There are several reasons. One is when the speaker is talking and you are doing live streaming and students can comment, right? As I'm talking, students, hey, this point is now clear to me, and can you elaborate on this? And students, people in the live audience can also chat with each other. So that is a great way to encourage and foster peer-to-peer learning. I see this happen all the time in my classes. Students, they don't need me. They are actually talking to each other and sharing information. That is amazing. And also, if you have students who miss class and they can watch the replay easily, and because it is on social media and they can share the link on Twitter or on Instagram, or maybe even post the link on LinkedIn or YouTube. So I believe, I love this, like social media creates social media, especially live streaming, it is really shareable. Shareability enhances visibility. And that is good for both the students and the speaker. So this is a live streaming I did. I interviewed Brent Fenzel. He's a big name social media influencer. And this video, as you can see, I have 1.3K views, 13 shares, and hundreds of comments. And I require my students to watch those videos so that they can learn from the professional, up-to-date knowledge and interact with them and get to know other students outside of their own immediate classroom environment. The second assignment idea is that students, they can host their own Facebook live show to talk about their internship or conferences or class projects or presentations. Maybe they did something really amazing in one of their class. They can do a 1-minute quick video reflection and share that video or go Facebook Live with the entire class. And because social media is so public, we will share something, other professionals, and we will use the right hashtag, you are going to attract the right professionals, maybe even educators, to come to your channel and to interact with you. I think in this day and age, our students need to understand shareability leads to visibility, meaning building a personal brand, and visibility leads to jobs, careers, opportunities. So I tell my students this all the time. And another idea is that you can invite alumni to host a virtual panel to share tips, career, job hunting, things like that. And a fourth idea is that you can actually combine live streaming with Twitter chat. So this multimedia approach is what I'm doing in the fall semester with 2 of my friends at 2 different universities in the United States. So we are combining live streaming and Twitter chat. Like, for example, after a Twitter chat is over, we can invite everyone to go to Facebook to do a live video debrief session of the Twitter chat. And I will show you an example real quick on the next slide. Or after a live streaming is over, you can conduct a Twitter chat to debrief the live streaming. And you can do it either way. So this is an example. I work with this person, Madeline Sklar, and she's a social media influencer, and she hosts this Twitter chat. So after the chat is over, and she invited the guest to Facebook. So right now they are doing a Facebook Live to keep talking about the Twitter chat and some of the topics that they were not able to dive into in the chat. And the last idea is also my favorite, is to do Q&A with our students, because I will be teaching my classes, all of my classes online in the fall semester, and I really need to get to know my students. I really need to create and cultivate a sense of community. Otherwise, students don't get to know me, they don't get to know each other. And so I do live Q&A with my students on a weekly basis. Every Sunday and end of Sunday, I will do, doesn't need to be that long. This is basically my office hour. So I host my office hour in the social media digital space. And students, they love, amen, they love it. They love using emoji, GIFs to chat with me, to answer questions. And somehow in the digital space, you just feel like the power distance between the teacher and the students is not there. It is a lot more, makes you become a lot more relatable to your students. And Facebook also has this new feature. I don't know if I have time to share. Maybe I can skip that. And this is a new feature that just came out. It's called Facebook Unit. And basically, you can teach an entire online class on Facebook. So I think Facebook is going to replace or compete with e-learning. So I think that's their future plan. So those are just 5 ideas that you can apply to your class that incorporates live streaming. And I love doing this because I already mentioned all of those points, humanizes who we are as teachers and students. When there's that emotional connection, students are a lot more interested in learning. And my teaching evaluation has improved so much. I truly get to know my students, and it is a life-changing experience. And I may not have time to talk about this. So there are multiple platforms that you can go live. I only focused on Facebook, but you can also go live on Instagram, which I love. You can also go live on Twitter and on YouTube. They basically follow kind of the same idea. My personal favorite is Facebook because my audience is on Facebook. So for social media marketing, and people need to ask, where's my audience? And I need to go where my audience is. And so those are just like some articles I can share with you. Like this is a blog article that I wrote that share tips that teach you to go live. And this one, I also compared a bunch of third-party tools like BeLive and Zoom and Facebook, and that you can just review those articles and learn some of the how-tos to host Facebook Live. And before I finish and wrap up here, I really want to show you, live streaming is not as scary as we assumed. You really do not need fancy equipment. This is where I go live, because right now we are staying at a small apartment. I don't have space. So this is, you see this room, this is where I'm standing right now and doing the talk. And in this room, I interviewed so many top tier social media marketers. It is amazing. So don't worry about technology. The key is getting started. As you take action, you become more comfortable and you gain clarity. So the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. I really encourage you to maybe take baby steps, play with like a small feature here and there, or even sending some private videos to friends just to see how you like this, and then eventually bring them to your own like business or social media marketing practice or classroom teaching. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, that was fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop recording now, and we'll run the Q&A session just without the record. But the first question I'm going to ask is,